What about you? Asked Penelope. Did you come to San Francisco after your gold was stolen? First, we went to a different camp. We met some miners who were ready to leave the diggings. They had an old shack that was almost falling down. We bought it from them. Why, if it was so awful? Asked Penelope. Jing Li laughed softly. We had a plan. After we bought the shack, we tore up all the floorboards. We knew those miners had been living there for over years, so they must have walked in and out of it thousands of times. We were able to sweep up pieces of gold dust that had fallen off the men's clothes and shoes. So you struck it rich, cried Sam. Yes, Jingly concluded. We used that gold to start this eating place, and now the jingling of the bell at the front door interrupted her. The first customers had arrived. Before long, the dining room was crowded. Most of the customers were Chinese, and the restaurant was filled with exciting chatter in the language the Tuckers couldn't understand. As they ate, Penelope and Sam talked. It looks like the sun and the moon Chinese eating place is going to do just fine, said Penelope. It sure does, agreed Sam, but they both fell silent, too busy eating to waste time on words. Suddenly, one of the front windows shattered into shreds of sharp glass. A rock landed on the floor not far from Penelope's feet. What happened? She cried, jumping up, staring at the rock, confused and frightened. Jingli's husband rushed from the kitchen to see what was going on. Jingli hurried to see if Penelope had been hurt. Meanwhile, most of her customers sat in shocked silence, staring at the hole in the window, except for one man who yanked the door open and went outside. Penelope quickly assured Jingli that she was fine, and the man who had gone outside to investigate returned. He spoke to Jingli in Chinese, shaking his head and waving his arms. He could not catch him, Jingli translated. Who was it? Asked Sam. He says it was a young man, replied Jingli, an American. From the wicked words he shouted, she smiled sadly. I thought I was American now. I thought we all were. Penelope did not know what to say. She couldn't imagine why anyone would do such a thing. Is there anything we can do to help? She asked. Jingli smiled sadly and said, Thank you, Penelope. But I see that my sons have already cleaned up the glass. Things are well in hand. Try to forget about this ugliness and enjoy your meal. Then, looking worried, she hurried to check on her other guests. Back at the boarding house, Penelope and Sam told their mother about the rock throwing incident. Why, somebody might have been hurt, Ma exclaimed. It's frightening and so unfair to Jing Li and her family. When we left, Jing Li thanks us for coming. Then she said that we probably shouldn't return, that somebody might get angry about Americans going to a Chinese restaurant. Why would anybody think that way, Ma? It's hard to know why some people think as they do, said Ma with a sigh. But I will tell you one thing the Tuckers, all of us, will be eating at the sun and moon whenever we can. You sound like Pa, said Penelope softly. I remember what he used to say about the unfairness of slavery. You guys remember we're studying the Civil War at the same time, so this is a good book to be reading right now. Eyes glistened. Ma changed the subject. Now tell me about the restaurant and the food, she said briskly. Penelope and Sam described everything how the restaurant looked, what they ate, even Jing Li's story of finding gold under the floorboards. Did Jing Li accept does Jing Li accept gold dust as payment? Ma asked. There was on many, that was on many merchants' mind these days. Often shopkeepers had little choice if they wanted to get paid. I saw somebody pay out with gold dust, said Penelope, but Jingli is like us. She would rather get gold coins. She paused, then said, Ma, did you ever think you get so used to dealing with flakes of gold? I hadn't really thought about it, Penelope, said Mom. Why do you ask? I don't know, said Penelope. It's just that gold doesn't seem that special to me. It did at first, but now handling is so different than handling the money we took at the goods shop. We came here to start a whole new life, she continued. But it's starting to feel almost like the life we had before. It makes me wonder why we'd gone to so much trouble. Don't you like it here? Ma asked. I honestly don't know, Ma, said Penelope. Right now I'm just trying to understand how life has changed and how it stayed the same. I don't know what's the matter with you, Penn, said Sam. Gold is special, and San Francisco is a great place to live. You think too much. Penelope laughed. She suspected her brother was right, but that did not stop the confused thoughts from swirling through her mind.